Now, KIMA is continuing to follow up on a state audit report that found some local cities are not following the rules when it comes to filing their financial reports. Those reports let you see how they're spending your money, your tax dollars. But Union Gap hasn't met those deadlines and didn't want to talk about it either. Samina Engel continued to ask for an interview with the city so she could get you those answers on just why these reports aren't being turned in on time. Take a look.
People like to say third time's a charm. That's not the case in Union Gap. The city found itself on the state auditor's hit list for the third year in a row. It filed financial reports late in 2011, 2012, and 2013.
It shouldn't be a regular practice, and to do it 3 years in a row seems just a little unreasonable to me.
Union Gap city manager wouldn't tell me why. He refused to call me back for 2 days. After much persuading, Union Gap's finance director agreed to talk only by phone. This is not a good list to make, and year after year, 2011, 2012, 2013, Union Gap is on it. Does it bother you?
Yeah, it bothers me. It does bother me. Nobody wants to be on that list.
Finance Director Karen Clifton says the problem began with the mold fears that shut down City Hall in 2012. It scattered records and resulted in financial reports being filed 2 months late.
Took me a lot of time to obtain the records that I needed to complete my report.
So what about the late filings in other years? Clifton blames herself, saying she took too much of the work on herself.
Lesson learned that I need to go ahead and work with my other staff members.
Craig Norwood lives in Union Gap and feels the city needs to meet its obligations.
When I was in business for myself for a number of years, I had to pay my quarterlies on time. Uncle Sam didn't like me to be too late, so the city should do the same with any reports that they're required to file with the state.
People in Union Gap, taxpayers, ratepayers, you know, they have to pay their city bills on time. They have to meet your deadlines or be penalized. I mean, doesn't the public deserve the same courtesy of you being on time?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and so we are committed to make sure that happens.
But how? Tell me, you know, how you're going to ensure that Union Gap does not make this list again for the 2014 filing.
Well, I'm going to start earlier, much earlier, and just make sure, you know, maybe I'll have some time points of how much should be accomplished by this day, and just keep a better track of the timeline.
She said the last thing she wants is for Union Gap to lose out on any government funding or get a bad credit rating because of the late filings.
I am going to guarantee the public that I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that it gets done on time, if not before time.
In Union Gap, Samina Engel, Action News.
Thank you, Samina. Well, Union Gap's finance director also sent us an email statement copying the city manager, the mayor, and city council members. Now, it says in part, quote, "The city of Union Gap is committed to improving the reporting of financial information." You can read the entire statement on our website, KIMATV.com.